Thanks for joining me today at the Broken Masterpiece. We're going to flip this dresser. When I picked it up, it was in pretty bad shape, and then I broke it. Thankfully, it was the legs that I was going to take off anyways, so I got to work making all the repairs needed. The first was to repair this base. It was in really bad shape. One of the siding pieces needed to come off and be repaired, and the legs needed to be removed. You know what to do first. You take off the poles, you get to work cleaning your piece before making the repairs. You want to wipe it all down with a degreaser. And while you're looking at your piece, you can start to visualize what kind of poles you want to do if you want to replace the originals. One of the drawers didn't fit, but it was vintage and typically they fit only in one place. And so take all the drawers out and figure out which fits in the right place. I got the drawers in the right place, they fit like butter. To remove the siding piece, you just need a hammer or a mallet and you want to start edging it out. There's just a bunch of brad nails in it. You're going to place that piece on the ground onto concrete and you're going to hammer it backwards. So that's how to get those nails up. And once they pop through, you can just pull them out with your hammer. I also used a pair of needle nose pliers and it took no time at all. Then I used my jigsaw and removed the wood that held the legs. I left these wooden dowels on because they created a really solid base and I would have had to fill that hole with something anyways, and so cutting it and flushing it smooth with the jigsaw worked great because then I just had a clear base. I accidentally hammered off one of the legs, and so I reinserted the wooden dowel with some wood glue. I wood glued it, clamped it, and that thing is never coming off again. I used my Boss Stitch brad nailer to nail back on the siding and Bondo to fill in any gaps to make sure it was extra durable and sturdy. By doing this and using a brad nailer and wood glue, this thing is never coming off, it's never going to get knocked, and there's going to be no gaps this time. And so the Bondo makes sure that any gap between any wood is filled, and you just need to sand it smooth and you are good to go. I recently got a surf prep sander, so I was really excited to use it so I could sand in the winter with my garage shut, and having a dust-less experience was amazing. I was able to scuff sand the whole piece and sand further on the parts of wood that I wanted to restore to the beautiful wood finish. I put the link to the surf prep in the description, so if you want one, it is not a beginner sander, but it's amazing and worth it. I retaped everything to get it ready to paint, and then I wiped everything down again with that TSP spray to make sure it was totally deglossed, and then I made sure it was dry, and then I got to work priming it with Bin Zinser Shellac in white. For painting the drawers, all I do is pop the drawer out just a little bit so I can get all the edges. And you can stick a screwdriver in the drawer to pull it out. Makes it a little bit easier. Once that primer is dry, I sand it with a 220 or higher grit, and then you're going to want to wipe it completely clean with a microfiber or tack cloth. Reapply if you have bleed through, and then let it dry for 24 hours. For this piece I didn't, and so I had some leftover paint, mineral and milk paint, and together they made a gorgeous forest green. And for this piece, I'm using my really easy double-duty Wagner control sprayer so that you know that as a beginner furniture painter, you can buy this $80 sprayer and it works great. All you do is you thin it. It comes with a viscosity pourer thingamajig. You thin it enough to be able to spray like this, and you get to work painting your piece, and it goes on so smooth. For any drip spots, if you have any after, you're just going to want to sand lightly with a 180 or 220 grit. You're going to wipe with a tack cloth, and then you're going to repaint. I usually do about 2 to 3 coats, but sometimes you need a 4th if you've had any mistakes. So while my final layer was drying, I went on Amazon and I found these rattan boho poles for $19. They came in 2 days. So my final layer, I'm using a water-based polycrylic. Water-based goes with water-based paint. So I'm using a DeVille Bliss spray gun. It's a finish line, and this is connected to an air compressor. It's for more advanced sprayers. I give it about 2 to 3 coats, and then I head over to the drawers where I'm going to start staining. The handles came so quick, so I got to work. I buffed everything with a sanding pad so that I could get it ready to gel stain, and then I wiped everything with mineral spirits. Then I got to work staining with a brown mahogany gel stain by General Finishes. You don't rub gel stain off completely, so think of it more as you're rubbing it in. And so the handles were stained slightly odd. They were light and dark, but I loved it because the wood on the front of the dresser was not the same, and so it took the stain different. And so the variation of the poles, oh, I was in love. Next up, we're going to stain the top and that front little insert. You can use a staining pad just like I did on the drawers. It's important that you go with the grain, your last touch to it, and then just leave it for a few minutes and wipe off with your dry cloth. Now you're going to seal this layer with a polyurethane. Oil goes with the oil. And there it is, you guys, a finished piece. How awesome do those handles look? I staged this piece with some Christmas poinsettias that I had, some decor up top, and some really good lighting. I posted it on Marketplace and it sold within the week. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this furniture restoration journey. You can restore your own furniture now. Just follow along in the steps, and anything I used I put in the description. And enjoy my cute puppies that I also staged with my piece. Please hit subscribe and please share this video, you guys. Thank you so much for helping out my channel.